Elite copywriters convince total strangers to hand over lots of money, sometimes thousands of dollars, using the power of words. The copywriter's weapon of choice is persuasive language, and you're about to learn 13 ways to level up your copy based on my experience selling everything from $7 subscriptions to $7,500 in-person events. Now, before we start, know two things. First, I'm focusing on things you probably haven't heard before, and second, these are not the sexiest copywriting tips you'll read. Tip number 3 might depress you, and 10 will have you asking, what the... You get it. But you'll get the foundation you need to turn your words into money machines because they're based on generating millions of dollars in sales over many years across multiple industries. So if you're ready for a dose of reality, let's go. Tip number 1, stop writing copy for losers. When I say losers, I don't mean your customers. I mean offers or products that are failing. You want to improve what's working now or try new things. If something is not selling at all, you don't need fresh copy. You need a new big idea or offer, which we'll talk about later on. Tip number 2, test macro, then micro. I've tested thousands of landing pages, emails, opt-in forms, blog posts, website homepages, YouTube thumbnails, yes, it can be done, and other things. 95% of these tests were worthless because I was often testing small things like the call to action text on buttons or colors on little things, so there was no real difference. That's why I call them micro tests. If you want big improvements, you must perform macro tests. What's a macro test? It's a test of something important like your big idea. What's a big idea? It's the number one reason people should care about what you sell. Conventional wisdom says to test one thing at a time, like a headline or your call to action, but I'd rather test 2 completely different landing pages, each with its own big idea, than the same page with 2 different headlines. For example, if you were selling a weight loss product, you might test these 2 big ideas. First is a health angle, why your dad bod is killing you and how to fix it, and the second could be a vanity angle, how to look better than 99% of 20-year-old gym rats even when you're 40. You learn which big idea works, and then you drill down to those smaller micro tests because you don't want to optimize a lousy big idea. Now, there is an exception here. If you sell in very high volume and you can get test results fast, then do all the micro tests you want, at least after you find your great big idea. So how do you find a great big idea? Simple. You follow tip number 3, which is to fire up the magic 2-question survey. Nobody cares about your products and your services. People care about their goals, dreams, desires, and fears, and you can learn all about them with 2 simple questions. Let's say you sell video courses that teach men how to get more dates or be successful with women. You load up your survey software, Google Forms is fine and it's totally free, and you send a survey asking 2 questions. Question number 1, what do you want to achieve in your dating in the next 3 months? Question number 2, what do you want to achieve in your dating in the next year? You might expect answers like, I want to approach girls in a bar, or I want to learn how to ask out a girl. But you might also hear things you wouldn't expect, like maybe I don't know how to flirt over text, or I'm divorced and I don't know how to start dating again, or I don't know when to go in for a kiss. The most interesting and common of these tidbits become your big ideas. There is a dark side to this. You might realize that you made the wrong products altogether, which is depressing, but you might also find that your customers are writing your copy for you and telling you what products to make next. So do this ASAP. I set up an automation in my email software to send this exact survey to everyone who joins my marketing newsletter list. Now, the link is down in the description if you want to sign up. But remember, you have to be excited about your big idea because you can't sell anyone if you are not sold first. Now, if you have a hard time writing your copy, take a deep breath and step back. It's time to rethink your big idea or your offer. We'll talk about offers later on in this video, so pay attention. Now, if you've made it this far in, you might care about who I am. My name is Michael Camo, and I'm a New York-based marketing consultant specializing in copywriting and email marketing. My goal is to give you simple, actionable strategies that help you make more money and build better relationships with your customers. And if you've been enjoying this video so far, do me a favor, hit that like button. Let's move on. Tip number 4, respect the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle, says that 80% of outcomes from 20% of causes. So 80% of your results come from your big idea, your headline, and the offer itself. The big idea is the theme, so that drives your copy and your headline. Now, here's something interesting. A bad big idea always fails no matter how good your copy is. So let's talk about those other 2 big elements. Tip number 5, obsess over your headline. Because if your headline stinks, people won't read the page and see the offer. That means all the work you put into copywriting, product development, ad creation, all that stuff goes down the drain. So how do you write a great headline? First, remember that your headline does not sell your product. Your headline sells on reading the rest of the page. Now, how do you do that? One way is to take your big idea and add curiosity and drama, especially with a visual element. Say you sell noise canceling headphones and your target market is telling you, I want total silence when I'm on a train or a plane. What's a fun way to say that? You could say noise canceling more powerful than a 369-ton New York City subway train. Or it's like sitting in a world-class recording studio 30,000 feet in the air. And oh yeah, numbers always help you grab attention. In direct marketing applications, it pays to comb through all your copy and find the single most interesting tidbit, which is often part of a story or one of your bullet points. One of my favorite stories to tell is how I did a 3-week launch to a list of 80,000 warm leads and made one sale for $37. Yes, 37, not 37,000. So if I was selling an email marketing course, I might pull out a sentence like, I was crowned the biggest idiot in the history of email marketing, or how I sent 800,000 emails and made one lousy sale. Those types of hooks drive curiosity and they lead people down the rabbit hole. And make sure you use an analytics tool to see if people are scrolling down your landing page, because you need to know right away if your headline is a bottleneck in your funnel. Because remember, if the headline fails, everything fails. Tip number 6, obsess over your offer. The greatest headline with the greatest copy in the world can't sell a lousy offer. So if you're writing for a client or your company, push for better bonuses, better pricing, extra guarantees, whatever. Here's a good rule of thumb I stole from Alex Hormozy. The offer that makes you nervous makes the customer greedy. So if you're saying we're giving away too much on this, you are actually on the right track. Remember, if the promo fails, the copywriter gets the blame even when the offer stinks. Freelancers know what I'm talking about. Now let's get to more wordsmithing. Tip number 7, be a ruthless word killer. Your copy should give readers a smooth ride down to the bottom like a fast 100-foot tall water slide. So focus on clarity. Here's 3 ways to achieve that. Rule A, cut 30% of the words from your first draft and another 30% from your second draft. Don't say our avocado-based dog food can improve your pet's overall health and well-being. Say avocado makes your dogs healthy and happy. Rule B, replace every 3+ syllable word with a shorter one if you can. Don't say something is difficult, just say it's tough. Rule C, replace adverbs with visual action words. Don't say these sneakers will help you run quickly. Say you'll bolt to the finish line. You want to write like this for many reasons. First, people will read more of your copy when it's clear. Your copy will also be more friendly to non-native English speakers, which makes it easy to translate. Plus, you will write twice as fast and 95% of your grammar errors just disappear. Why do they disappear? Because you give yourself fewer chances to screw up. Tip number 8. Go long. Ask any pro copywriter and they'll tell you that long copy converts better, period, especially with expensive products. Now, you might be saying, Michael's contradicting himself because I just told you to cut 51% of your words out of your first draft. Cutting 30% and another 30% is 51% less. But I'm not contradicting myself because no matter how much you write, you still have to get rid of all the fluff and all the extra words. Have you ever seen one of those crazy long sales pages with 25,000 words that takes 2 hours to read? That might have been cut down from 50,000 or 100,000 words. Now, logical question is, who would read a 25,000 word sales page? And I'll tell you, some of the buyers. Wait, why not all of the buyers? Because long copy works in very strange ways. Most people roll their eyes and click off the page, which is normal. But some people read every single word and buy. Others scan the headlines and buy. And then there are buyers who are just reassured that there is a lot of copy. They assume the product or service must be good if there's so much information and proof on the page. So they also buy, especially if they're fans of whoever is selling the product. There is no limit to how much you can write as long as your copy is tight, entertaining, and easy to read. So don't hold back, go long. Tip number 9. Destroy objections with proof. Your big idea brings emotion to the table, but emotion is not enough to get people to buy. People want proof that your claims are real. So you want to load your page with evidence that you're telling the truth. If you sell nutritional supplements, share data from scientific studies. If you sell financial products, use real market data. And don't forget the most important kind of proof, social proof. People want to buy things that other people are buying. So jam up your landing pages with testimonials. The more, the better. Video testimonials are great, especially if they show people using your products. And if 25,000 people bought your product, mention that. If you have 500 5-star reviews on Trustpilot or Amazon, also include that. Tip number 10, write the you-know-what out of your return policy. This might be my favorite tip in this because nobody does this and it's bizarre to most people. But your refund policy can be a massive conversion generator. Give it a lot of attention. If you have a 100% money back guarantee, don't just call it a 100% money back guarantee. Call it a stronger than titanium, no BS, no hassle, 100% money back guarantee, and then explain how easy it is for people to get a refund if they're not happy. I'll let you in on a dirty little secret. Many companies that offer money back guarantees make it very hard to get a refund, and people are sick of it. So go over the top and emphasize points like, just send an email and we'll issue a full refund in 24 hours, no questions asked. This is the most underrated part of your landing page because a friendly return policy can get a lot of people over the hump because you are taking risk off of them. Obviously, you have to make sure your product is good or you will get destroyed in refund requests. Tip number 11, explain who should not buy. A classic rookie mistake is to pretend a product or service is for everyone, because when you market to everybody, your target customer can't say, "This was made just for me." Your copy is bland and boring, you reek of neediness, and nobody buys. So be clear about who should buy and who shouldn't. Yes, you will turn plenty of people off, but they were never going to buy anyway, so it doesn't matter. This is vital for high-ticket items where exclusivity is a prime benefit. If you run a high-end coaching business for CEOs, you might say something like this: if your annual revenues are under $10 million, we are not a good fit to work together. You force everyone with more than $10 million in revenues to think we might be a good fit. Tip number 12, level up your about page. The copy on your landing page is not the only copy people will read. A lot of people will check out your about page to learn more about you or your company. So jam-pack that about page with detailed info about your company and your team. Include as much social proof as you can think about, testimonials, awards, media appearances, etc. This way, your about page helps you sell. Remember, people can watch one of your ads on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, and instead of clicking, they might just Google you. Many of these people will end up on your about page during the research process. Tip number 13, use the two most important words in copywriting. Did you count the number of times the word you appeared in this video so far? How about your? I've said those words over 160 times. That was not an accident because the video is meant to be interesting for you, not me. Have you ever been on a date with someone that only talks about themselves? What are they? They're boring. So turn I, we statements into you, your statements. Imagine you sell courses on how to use Photoshop. Don't say, we make Photoshop easy. Say, learn to make your pictures beautiful in minutes. This is an easy way to inject more empathy into your copy. Now let's talk about what you should do next. If you take just one action based on this video, make it the 2-question survey because it tells you what your prospects really want. And those things are not always obvious. And if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll consider joining my newsletter where I offer insights on copywriting, email strategy, and more. It's totally free and you can get it at michael99.com or by clicking the link down in the video description. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. I'll see you soon.